Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Bannon or Airspeed Prime here, and I'm here with the second episode of Airspeed Discusses. Again, I got one video response, which was really cool for the first episode of Airspeed Discusses, so again, please try and reply with a video response or just a comment below, or I'm going to post it on the site. There's a thread on the site for this as well. So this episode of Airspeed Discusses is going to be about basically the future of Avatar after The Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, and the Promise comics. So, before I get to there, I might as well go back to the past. So, like, when Avatar, how popular is Avatar? How's the fandom right now, before they come out? So, I didn't have the internet until like 2007, basically near the end of season 2. So I didn't know about Avatar as it was the information was coming out about this new show. But from what I have heard, they announced it at Comic Con one year, they showed a trailer at Comic Con the next year, I think. So there were people excited for this show because it was something different that like Nickelodeon had never done really. Like a serialized show on Nickelodeon, that sort of thing. So, quickly, as soon as it aired, it gained a massive kind of following, more than any other Nick show. Because, like, if you look around fan sites, there is a SpongeBob SquarePants fan site, but from what I could see, they hadn't posted there in months. The same for shows like iCarly, they're kind of big two shows, SpongeBob and iCarly. But look at the Avatar fandom; it's really big and it's really active. Everyone who likes Avatar is sort of like intense. The sort of way I talk about my Avatar is that you ask some random person on the street, have you ever seen episodes of SpongeBob, and do you like it? And they'll say, I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes, it's quite funny, I wouldn't watch it every day. But if you ask someone about Avatar, they either have seen it, love it, and are a massive fan of it, or have never seen it before. That's just the sort of way Avatar is. You kind of requires putting some time into it, but if you do, you're gonna love it, that sort of way. And so Avatar is popular, and I suppose the best way to prove that is with some statistics. I haven't done much research on this, but this is all I could really find. This is a comparison between Avatar, The Last Airbender, its viewing figures for the premiere of my episode, compared to Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is probably one of the most popular shows out there on a kids show at the moment. It's a Star Wars show. It's big. From what I could find out, most episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender got between 3.5 and 4 million viewers for the premiere, which is excellent for any kind of premiere of a TV show. Well, a brand new episode. And most episodes of Star Wars: The Clone Wars get between 1.5 and 2.5 million when an episode premieres. So already there's a massive gap showing you that either Nickelodeon is just a more popular TV show than Cartoon Network and gets more viewers, or Avatar is just really popular. And I have to say Avatar is really popular because in terms of like reviews I've seen from professional reviewers, critiques, I've really never seen a bad one. The few that I've seen have been sort of like people attempting to kind of troll the fandom, that sort of way. So, people like this show. It's probably one of, if not the best piece of Western animation TV show out there. So, back to my kind of viewing figures. So just random episodes on their own, like 101, 102, 103, get about 3.5 to 4 million. But when they do like an event like Book 1 finale, or something like the Journey to Ba Sing Se 2-parter, the drill, the Serpent's Pass and the drill, that got about 5 million. And the finale of Avatar, Sozin's Comet, the 4-parter, and I believe they aired 317 as well on the same night, got 6 million viewers, so that's amazing. That's like right up there with the big kind of shows. And especially for a kids show on like a Nickelodeon, that's excellent viewing figures. So Avatar was really popular for me. And when you take into account how sort of Nick handled the show, especially sort of in season 3 with the kind of dates being all over the place, them airing it at not a great time of the year to be showing a big finale of a TV show, it did excellent. And the way they had been kind of sort of advertising an iCarly kind of rerun marathon, sort of more than the finale of Avatar. Again, it did really well. So, and after Avatar had finished airing, obviously the fandom sort of stayed there for a while. People dropped off because there was nothing really coming. And then, the movie got people interested again. Some people came back. It in really in like terms of the fandom liking it, obviously was a failure. But what it did in terms of success was it brought people back just because there was something new related to Avatar coming back, and it brought new people in as well. So in that way, the movie, there was really kind of no negatives to the movie, because I think people liked the idea of the Last Airbender movie. So the cartoon obviously did it better. So that was a failure, and pretty much as soon as it had aired, we had been getting rumours that there was a new show coming, The Last Airbender: The Legend of Korra, and like that came out, and obviously people got really excited. The kind of peak was the San Diego Comic-Con panel about Korra, the trailer, that sort of stuff. Everyone was super excited, and that's where we are now. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to coming up right now. It's a great time to be an Avatar fan. New show coming mid to late 2012, The Last Airbender: Legend of Korra. We've got a trio of graphic novels, The Promise Part 1, 2 and 3, which are, in my opinion, are looking good. A lot of people are quite negative about them, but I don't think they really need to be. So it's a great time at the moment to be an Avatar fan, but they're going to end. Korra is only 26 episodes. By the sounds of things, it's going to pretty much be all 26 episodes aired like pretty much one after the other, maybe a break between the original 12 and the next 14, that sort of thing. But and there's only 3 of those comics planned. That's all we sort of know about at the moment, and they're most likely they're all going to be out before Korra airs. So Korra episode 26 is going to be like the sort of finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the last thing we can expect for a while. Or is it? This is going to get where the future of Avatar sort of comes into things. Now, Dark Horse have the license for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because they were the ones who did the art of the animated series, that book, which is excellent. They did the Lost Adventures. They're doing The Promise, parts 1, 2, and 3. And with The Promise, parts 1, 2, and 3, this is their first kind of time doing like an original book. There's a few kind of original stories they had for The Lost Adventures, but this is the first thing, really. Mike O'Brien have been helping out a lot, which shows they have a lot of confidence in Dark Horse and like continuing Avatar through comics, that sort of way. From what like Gene Yang has said in his like video about The Promise, they did assist a lot. They really wanted this to do well. And yes, Promise, yeah. So Dark Horse have the license for Avatar. The Avatar universe is so kind of vast. It's sort of like a kind of Star Wars universe in that way. Like, we know that the Avatar, there was an era before the Avatar. We know that there have been like hundreds of avatars, as we see in the Hall of Avatars, and like these scenes in the show where we see kind of the lineup of the Avatar when Roku was explaining to Aang about the Avatar state. We know there are tons of avatars to talk about. There's the era before the Avatar. How did the first Avatar like come into being? Did the spirits do it? That sort of thing. Iroh spirit world stuff. If that's not explained in The Promise, we're going to need to know about that, because there's a lot of stuff about his past we don't know. And then some of the minor characters, stuff like the freedom fighters before we met them. Chong, where was he during the series? Stuff like that. The Adventures of Chit Sang, all the minor characters are excellent. kind of more adventures of Aang before as a nomad. Just kind of we saw it in Dragon Days and the Lost Adventures, that sort of thing. Will we see more of him and Boomy kind of messing around together? There's so much kind of opportunity. They can do more with Korra. They can fill in kind of more of her backstory if we don't get much in the show. Um, uh, and yeah, there's just so many opportunities. They can do like pick any avatar. Like you can presume that like there have been loads of other things that the avatars have had to do, other wars, you know, going back. So Dark Horse have, if the promise, if the comics sell well, which the Lost Adventures did, it was, and I think it still is in like the top 20 kind of on Amazon, selling kind of books from Dark Horse, graphic novels from Dark Horse. And in terms of pre-orders for The Promise Part 1, it is doing very well. Again, I think it's in the top 20 in kind of pre-orders for upcoming graphic novels as well, which for a brand new kind of like comic franchise sort of thing is excellent. So I think the 3 parts will all sell very well because the fandom is so intense. Nearly everyone is gonna like want them. So more than like, I think they're definitely gonna do more, because like why would they just have the license to make kind of 5 books, that sort of thing. I know in terms of shows, the only thing that Michael Brown have actually said really in relation to more things after Korra is they did an interview about Korra, and they mentioned that, you know, they have lots of material. They could theoretically have enough material to keep making Avatar shows for many years to come. Now, I think a lot of this depends on how kind of how much Michael Brown kind of want to keep on doing shows. Like when Korra ends, are they going to start production on a new show immediately, or are we going to get another kind of 4-year break? You know, they could do that if the comics kind of keep coming out, because comics are kind of easier to make than like animated shows. So that's a definite possibility. But there's also the thing like, can the fandom kind of survive for 4 years with like pretty much nothing? Like look at the way Star Wars is with George Lucas and him, the stuff he says about like expanded universe of Star Wars. You know, that stuff is that stuff. My stuff is my stuff. He makes definite separation. I think one of the main reasons I really like Avatar, and especially I like the Avatar comics, is that everything is kind of canon. The only like story that we got that's not really canon is like the stuff from the trading card game, which, you know, you could pretty much fit them in without too much problems. You know, Afiko, Kinto, Malu, you can pretty much fit them into the story without too much going wrong. But yeah, and like other shows and stuff like that. Yeah, wait, I was talking about canonicity and relating to Star Wars. Yeah, so part of the reason kind of Star Wars is kind of all over the place. People like this, but they don't like that. They don't like the expanded universe. They do like the expanded universe. You know, it all comes down to like there's a massive separation in terms of everything. You know, like even the TV shows. Is the Clone Wars TV show canon in Star Wars? George Lucas is making that. But Avatar has this thing that where, you know, if Mike and Brian, and they, by the looks of things, they do kind of care for the fans. They kind of let them know a lot of stuff in kind of interviews, like, you know, where was Azula? We know that they said like in a mental health institute on an island to be monitored around the clock. So we sort of know what's happened to her so far. They've told us stuff like that. So we've seen they've taken an interest in the comics. They want the fans to know like these comics are canon. So, you know, I think Avatar does have a bright future as of now, you know, with none of the new comics out or the show out. We have a lot to look forward to, but after that, I think we do as well. The comics will sell well. The show, I think, will be received well. You know, we still don't know a lot about the show, but from what we've seen, it looks amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. tell me your thoughts on the future of Avatar in terms of like comics, shows, like anything really. And video response if you would probably be the best, or just comment below or in the thread on this site. So thank you, bye.